During the next few minutes, you'll be introduced to the safe operating practices that must be followed when operating a bench or pedestal grinder.
Operating any grinder is an extremely dangerous work activity.
One mistake could be your last. Treat grinders with respect. They'll work hard for you, but if misused or abused, they can strike with a vengeance.
Make certain you complete a field-level hazard assessment prior to starting your task.
If you see someone operating any type of grinder unsafely, stop the work process. Then take the time to coach them in the correct behavior.
Grinder incidents resulting in injury and near misses are usually a direct result of operators not recognizing hazards, becoming complacent, and taking shortcuts.
There are no shortcuts with bench grinders, and so that the proper rules of operation will be understood and applied, all operators must be instructed in the potential hazards and safe use of the bench or pedestal grinder.
In addition, make certain you read the manufacturer's operating manual before using the machine. Manuals can be obtained from your supervisor or at the tool crib.
Here's the minimum personal protective equipment required for grinding: hard hat, work boots, good quality leather gloves, and hearing protection.
A face shield must be worn along with face and eye protection to include safety glasses with side shields. Monogoggles may be required if there's a possibility of particles deflecting inside the face shield, such as grinding inside congested areas. Hazardous conditions requiring monogoggles would be addressed in the field-level hazard assessment, company policy, or a specific job site rule.
Respiratory protection should always be considered depending on what you are grinding. Respiratory protection may consist of an air purifying respirator or even supplied air. Make sure you check the material safety data sheets to become aware of the specifics of the material you're grinding, such as stainless steel, galvanized products, and other exotic metals. Make certain you know the protection you require.
Be careful about outer clothing. Anything that could snag or catch fire is dangerous. Wear long sleeves and tuck in shirt tails. Do not wear loose-fitting clothes. It's best to wear natural fibers like cotton, as synthetics like polyester are extremely flammable. Always remember that personal protective equipment is the last line of defense and does not replace the use of safe work practices for grinder operation.
Your company may require monthly documented inspections of bench and pedestal grinders. This will require a designated competent person to complete the inspections. But most importantly, before each use, the operator must inspect the grinder, stone, and various components. Check the cord for fraying or other damage, that the plug end and prongs are securely in place, the switch to make certain it works properly, and all protection hoods and adjustable hood guards must be tight and secure. Do not tamper with or customize guards. They are there to protect you.
Ensure the grinder itself is solidly fastened and anchored.
The tool rest must be set not more than 1/8 inch from the face of the wheel. As the operator, you are responsible for maintaining this proper distance. As the stone wears down, the rest and guard must be adjusted accordingly.
This is critical, as too large a gap enables the wheel to grab both small flat pieces of metal and gloves, pulling everything into the grinder, which may cause serious injury.
The tool rest must be set slightly below the center of the wheel, so the material contacts the wheel at the correct angle. Above center contact makes control much more difficult, which creates more potential for hazards and greater risks. Also, the wheel is not as efficient when operated in the incorrect position.
The work rest must remain 90 degrees to the tangent of the wheel at the point of contact. Remember, the positioning of the tool rest is extremely critical with a bench grinder.
Make certain the grinder is de-energized and unplugged before making adjustments. Never adjust the work rest while the wheel is in motion.
The maximum allowable space between the wheel and the adjustable tongue guard shall not exceed 1/4 inch.
Inspect the stone grinding wheel for chips, worn edges, cracks, and general condition. A worn stone wheel is inefficient and dangerous. Wheels can fragment and fly apart, causing serious injury or even death. Do not use a wheel that is worn, or out of round.
Ridges on the stone wheel can be dressed or evened with a stone dressing tool. However, if the abrasive stone is damaged or worn beyond dressing, replace it.
To change the wheel or make adjustments on a 110-volt pedestal or bench grinder, unplug the 110-volt cord and have the cord end in your control. You don't want someone energizing the tool while you're changing stones.
A designated competent person must be contacted before changing wheels or making adjustments on 220-volt and 440-volt pedestal and bench grinders.
Lockout and tagout procedures must be followed. When removing a stone wheel, follow the manufacturer's instructions. Different manufacturers have different methods for stone wheel installation and removal.
The manufacturer will provide specifications regarding the correct diameter of mounting flange for the wheel you will be using.
The general rule is that all stone wheels must be mounted between steel safety flanges of equal size, not less than 1/3 the diameter of the wheel. Check the manufacturer's manual for specifications.
When installing wheels, care should be taken to tighten the end nut only enough to drive the wheel and prevent slippage. Over-tightening can damage the integrity of the stone wheel.
Too much pressure can cause the wheel to fracture, and it may not be visible to the naked eye. Minute cracks can lead to the wheel dangerously flying apart when put in motion. Always review the stone wheel specifications.
All bench and pedestal grinders and all stone wheels have an RPM rating. The stone wheel must always have an RPM rating at least as high as the rating for the grinder. The wheel may have a higher rating, but never lower. Wheels rotating at higher speeds than their rating may fly apart or shatter altogether. Double check that both RPM ratings match.
Your bench grinder RPM rating must be legible, but if in doubt, check with your supervisor. Always ask.
After changing a wheel, ensure the guards are back in place, all tools have been removed from the area, and that the switch is in the off position. Then plug in the grinder and test the stone installation by standing off to the side, flipping the switch on, and allowing the wheel to come up to speed for 1 minute. You're checking for wobbly or uneven rotating of the stone. If it is not running smoothly, do not proceed with any grinding. Turn off the machine and wait for it to cease spinning. Unplug the machine and contact your supervisor.
Faulty or defective grinders must be tagged and removed from service for repair. It's important to fill out the repair tags stating exactly what is not working correctly with the tool. This saves important maintenance time and effort in getting the tool safely back into service.
Every grinding stone wheel has an intended purpose. Always use the correct tool for the intended job. And always check the stone wheel manufacturer's specifications for installation and operation. Ensure you have the recommended guard in place.
Tungsten can destroy an expensive stone wheel in seconds. Grinders used for tungsten rods are marked as such and used only for that purpose.
When starting a bench or pedestal grinder, stand to the side, clear of the wheel, out of the line of fire, until the grinder reaches its operating speed.
Run materials across the wheel to ensure even use of the abrasive surface. Also, the material should be presented square to the wheel so as not to gouge and damage it. The side of the wheel must not be used unless it has been designed for that purpose.
The same techniques apply as with portable grinders. Keep an even pressure, using only enough force to remove the material. Additional pressure may damage the disc, place the worker at risk, and may harm the grinder motor.
Never leave a spinning stone wheel unattended. They are a silent danger.
As abrasive wheels and discs may damage and even shatter if incorrectly handled, they must be carefully protected when stored.
Stone wheels should be stored in a dry location, free of any contaminants such as oil, grease, or water, including condensation. Contaminants may break down the bonding agents within the stone wheel and lead to dangerous disintegration. Flawed or cracked stone wheels must be discarded.
After completing your grinding task, clean, sweep, and tidy your areas so as to prevent small particle residue from becoming eye irritants for your coworkers who will be using the grinder for other jobs. Safety is contagious. Be considerate of others.